A lot of paperwork.
Oh yeah.
A lot of paperwork. I got a bunch of projects coming up. So it's like, well, everywhere. Sometimes it gets overwhelming. So I be trying to find my feet. Yo, 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 yo. What up, good people? TFWIRadio.com. What y'all in the building? How y'all doing? How y'all living? How y'all feeling today? It's Brown Coffee Talk Radio. This your girl Risha May, live in the building. Let me introduce my co-host. Today's one of them type of days. Like my frequency is a little off today, y'all. So charge my head and not my heart. Everything is. What'd you say, Mister?
So far, good. Creek Life in the building. You already know. Brown Coffee. We're here to make some history today. What's up with it?
You black today?
You know.
Every day, all day.
Yeah.
Today we got a special co-host in the building, one of our contestants from the Cipher, the Locked In Cipher that we did last weekend on Saturday, Mr. Big Grand himself. What's going on with you?
Whoa, how y'all doing out there, man? I go by Big Green. We in here. We gonna do the damn thing.
Make it live and in effect. Today we are chilling. And so before we even get into the meat of the story, I'm very transparent with my audience. And today I woke up this morning. I don't know if it was an emotional day or what it was going on. My frequency was like just thrown all the way off this morning. And I don't know what happened. I had to burn some sage and some Palo Santo and a whole bunch of other stuff. And for me, it hit home that sometimes it's okay to not be okay. It is okay to have those moments where you realize, damn, I'm a little fucked up today. I might need to take a minute. And it brought me to the thought of one of my super strong friends, one of my male best friends. He's got like 8 kids and he's got full custody of all of his kids. And it just kind of hit me that he was on my heart today. And today I want to take a minute to take just a pair of seconds to shout out all of the single fathers that's actually doing a damn thing present in their life, even if you're not with them day in and day out, but you active and you present and you live. Grant, I know you got a few, this many kids.
Yeah, I got 2 babies.
How old's your children?
I got one that's about to be 10, 9, matter of fact, and one that's about to be 6.
Oh.
I got a boy and a girl.
So I'm not a father. I'm a mother, and it's a lot of women that play that.
None of them things.
A whole 9.
None of them things in custody of one of them, so I know definitely how it goes.
Yeah.
So me not being a father, even though I did play a fatherly role in my children's lives as they were growing up, my kids grown now, but I know what it was like for me. But there's a lot of times that single fathers and fathers that are actually present in their children's lives, they don't get a lot of credit for being present because it's what you're supposed to do, which a lot of women run across that issue as well. We're supposed to be present. We're supposed to be loving. We're supposed to be affectionate. How do you navigate that space as an active father?
Really, I just do what I'm supposed to do. As a man, I try to be active with my kids. Anything they need, I try to be there for them. But it get hard. My son got congestive heart failure.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so battling with that, just watching that process, it get hard. But you gotta remain strong and humble at the same time. You gotta look at the bigger picture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Far as the condition, just the ups and downs, you gotta be strong for them. You can't be strong for yourself, don't get me wrong, but you gotta be strong for them at the same time.
In what ways do you display that strength?
Prayer.
Do you pray with him or you just pray for him?
Yeah, I pray with him too.
Okay. You're gonna let that baby lead in prayer one day and start crying on the floor.
Yeah, I pray with him. I make him pray. Well, he pray by himself though too. But he has his ups and downs where he be like, oh, why ain't a normal kid? This, and that. So you gotta break it down to him. That's why I come in that as a dad, mama get emotional, cry. So that's why
we do that.
Yeah, that's why I come in. Hey son, it's like this. You're not normal because of this. God chose you to do this and this and that, So it's all a process.
That's definitely got to require a lot of strength from you. How do you replenish yourself to continue to feed him that?
Oh, that's a good question. Sometimes I don't even know.
It just come
out, man. It go with the flow. God, and what I done been through in my life. That's what made me stronger to be strong for him.
To be strong for him. I could
Yeah,
definitely understand that. Is
everything I done been through. So a lot of stuff don't get to me, but that situation got to me.
I could definitely understand that. In what ways do you judge me out loud again? Go ahead and judge me out loud again, hater. In what ways do you make sure that your daughter doesn't feel the difference or doesn't feel the favoritism, so to speak?
My daughter, she automatically jealous in a way. That's just her. She a girl.
First
She
of all,
she
First of
automatic. Look. I could be over here hugging the mama, and she gonna get between us
'cause
and her. Yeah, so she automatically like that. She the only girl too, so she automatically like that. But she a daddy's baby too, so my son, he a mama's boy.
okay.
So it kind of balance out.
So he's the one like that old show. Y'all remember that show, Dinosaurs? The little boy.
Not the mama.
Not the
Yeah,
mama.
yeah.
That's the kind of.
Mm.
Stacey, how do you find that balance with your children? Because you got a basketball team, right?
Yeah, I got a grip on it. I just look at them, they just all my personalities. So I get to see my personalities all at one, what people see on me, really. But they the ones that bring me peace, and besides smoking. Other than that, no. I'm saying, they're the ones that's gonna let me know what I'm doing, what I'm doing it for. You know what I'm saying? Because I know before I leave, I got to make sure it's something for them before I go. So that's why I'm moving the way I move and move the way I need to move, because it's 9 of them and it's real. And it's 8 different baby mamas on top of that.
Oh, man.
So I got 8 different conversations to pop up with. Man. You know what I'm saying? So it's real life out here for me. That's why I talk like I talk and move the way I move.
Yeah.
I'm talking about dealing with 1.
I know I can deal with 8.
1 and 8, I'd be dead. I wouldn't even.
I did 8. Little 8 of them things in a 10-year span. So it was a done deal.
10 years.
You know what though? I want to be strong like him. You know what I'm talking about?
How old are you, bro?
I'll be 35 at the end of the month.
Okay.
Yeah. My whole 20s from 19 to 29, I had all my kids.
All
from
of
that
the
10-year span.
Could have went to the bank and donated. That's fine.
I can just imagine what you going through. I watched my big brother deal with, different baby mamas and stuff, and I thought he was crazy, but bro, man,
And I said,
you got a lot of.
I'm on transport for just 1.
Oh, that's a blessing.
So
that's a blessing.
You know I'm good.
Yeah, I have just the 2, and when my kids were young, I never put either one of them on child support, because for me it was just easier. Like, hey, he need this, shoot that over, and he just did what he could. Even if he didn't have it all, he did what he could when he could. So for me, it was more beneficial just to have an adult conversation with him. Versus, and then I'm private. I don't like a whole bunch of people in my personal business, so I'm not going to go down to them people and tell them where to find them at, how to go get them suspended. If he's doing a delivery job, he can give me what I need if they suspending his license. So for me, it didn't make sense. But I know there are a lot of women out there that are, as my mama like to call them, bitter baby mama, and they got that syndrome.
Yeah, you count on that though. There's some people out here that be counting on that money to come through.
Yeah. You could count on it, and I get it, but it's still not guaranteed, because there's a lot of baby dads out here that ain't shit.
Big facts.
And they will quit their job just to not pay child support. I've met a couple of them. They no longer my friends because I don't hang with them type of people. But how do y'all navigate that space as fathers, making sure that you provide? I'm assuming that you and your children's mother have a decent relationship and y'all get along all right.
Oh yeah, we good. I ain't got no complaints.
Because I've seen too many TV shows and just women walking around living as those type of examples. What type of example is a requirement of yourself to display to your children? What do you require of you in your day-to-day life for them that's a must-see?
Don't be like me.
Elaborate, please.
Don't be like me. Be better than me. Everything. I try to teach my kids. This is what I try to teach my kids. Life in society is real. I told my daughter the other day, we in the car, right? She's singing a song. I say, baby, you don't even know the song like that. You just yelling. You messing up a good song, right? She say, Daddy, you mean? I say, nah, baby, I'm solid. I'm just real. I'm just real. I'm gonna teach you what they ain't gonna teach you when you step out in this world. Cause this world will eat you alive, and that's why I try to teach my son too. Just because you got a heart problem, son, these people not about to baby you in this world. They don't give a damn because you got a heart problem. They not about to show you no sympathy.
Zero giving.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what's funny? I was so tipped that night. I forgot we had a conversation about your son.
Yeah, we did. We did.
And one thing I will say is, as hard as it is to give him that truth, you be the one to give him that truth.
Mm-hmm.
Because when he sees it, you know how a dude always say to the woman, "You're beautiful, you're beautiful." She, my daddy been told me that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What we doing now? You know,
Yeah.
that's what I like about you. Is you're not cutting no slack. Like, this is what it is.
Yeah. I get my
and that'll break down the hardest man.
mm-hmm.
It's the kids, if something is going on with them or whatnot. It hurts.
Yeah.
But you have to be strong because he's looking at you as the leader.
Absolutely.
So you have to, even if you hide it, you just gotta hide it and you go somewhere else and feel away. But you gotta show him, hey, because the world don't give a damn.
Mm-hmm.
And even more now today, it's worse.
It's worse. Just imagine when they get in 18, how it's gonna be.
It's tough.
You know, and I think I'm like that because my mama was like that with me.
Yeah.
You know, she raised 3 boys
By herself.
by herself. And then my oldest brother was like my daddy.
Oh, man.
He did everything. He going to pay the bills. He going to, and he ain't cut me no slack. Hey, look, bro, this what it is. Woo, 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 woo. My mama was like, hey, this what it is. You know, she had to be hard. She got 3 boys.
Well, aren't you glad that's how you came out?
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
you are a prime example of what's missing today. You are the prime example of why there's black women over 30, 40 years old that are single now. Because they don't have that. They don't have that.
Yeah.
On purpose.
They got baby boys.
Yeah, even with my girl, I'm straightforward. She called me mean all the time. Oh, you just so mean. Why you being nah? I'm real.
Is she the younger one?
No, we the same age.
No, your daughter.
Oh yeah, my daughter. Yeah. She the baby. She the baby. Yeah, I'm the same way with my girl, with everybody. You know, I try to be straightforward with them because that's how I was cut. You know, nobody. That
mean. It's like, well, real is the new fake.
Yeah.
The fake is the new real. So I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
I've been called cold. I've been called this. I'm like, no, I was raised to just keep it a buck because now you know where I stand at all times.
I usually get detached and callous. Those are the words that
callous.
Those are the words that I usually get because I compartmentalize very well. So it's not that I don't care. It's just, what are the facts? What are we actually talking about? Are you talking about how you feel about what you feel like I did? Or are you talking about what I actually did? How did I move in that moment, in that time, and in that space? And if that makes you uncomfortable, then let's talk about what makes you uncomfortable. We can deal with how you feel about it in a second, but let's talk about the fact. Let's keep it straightforward. I put everything on the table. This is who I am. This is what I do. And this is how I move. You can roll with it or get rolled over by it. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to keep rolling.
No, for real.
You can either get a passenger seat with me.
Yeah.
Or you could be waiting on the side of the road for AAA to come by and pick you up. But either way, I got to keep moving. Like, even on my hard days, even on my rough days, even when my daughter was sick and she had 6 surgeries, like, I still had to go to work. I still had to pay the bills. I still had to be active. And it was hard to tell to get my daughter's father to go down to the hospital. Her appendix burst on the inside. And she's still going to school, 7 years old. My baby, writer.
Yeah.
She's a writer. She's still at school with a burst appendix in her stomach, poison flowing through her body, and she was still writing. And so I know that came from her seeing me. Even the level of strength that she possesses now, her level of intelligence, whatever it is that we go through, I know she moved because I put it in her, whether she wants to admit it or not. So be prepared for that. When they get to a certain age, you ruined my life. You wanted to control me, but they just like you. How do you prepare them for the adult version of themselves?
To be honest, I'm ready for all that. I'm ready for Daddy, you get on my nerves. Daddy, I'm getting tired of you. Yeah. I'm prepared for all that because I can take it. Now, Mama on the other hand, I don't know if she can take it. But I know you know, I'm gonna tell you something too. My son is not biologically mine.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been in his life. Yeah, I've been in his life since he was 2 years old. So certain traits I mean, he act like me because he been around me.
Yeah.
But certain traits, like I be wanting him to have, he don't have. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because he's not my DNA.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
So I be wanting him to do and act a certain way, but sometimes he don't do that because it's not in his DNA. But my daughter, she
All day.
does. You know, she with the shenanigans.
But I'll say this though, it's already enough for a man to raise another man's child.
Yeah.
And this is unfortunate what I'm about to say, especially with a condition.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hmm.
Because that, I don't like to use the word burden, I don't.
Yeah.
Love is unconditional.
Absolutely.
But for how black men get judged, you
Hmm.
don't even take care of your own.
Yeah.
Take care of mine and others.
Yeah.
But we don't get that kind of praise. We don't get. My thing is, don't praise me, but don't talk about me either. Though, just keep
Yeah,
it 100.
yeah.
Though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to brag on me, but don't talk about it.
Yeah.
For you to take care of this child in the condition that this child is in speaks volumes of your character.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I
commend you.
appreciate that.
Your mama, she raised the real one, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate
But see,
it.
but your energy hit me as soon as I met you that first night.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm that dude. I'm like, hey man, I know energy off the bat, and I was like, okay,
yeah,
this is cool. This is a cool one right here.
yeah,
And that's why I kind of, when he walked, I said, oh, what's up, bro?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's just how I am, because everybody's not authentic these days.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Everybody's not
That was
Yep.
the one thing that I picked up the day we're gonna hit back to the cipher. But
Yeah.
that was the one thing that I picked up. I moved through the space and he wasn't overly friendly.
At
He
all.
wasn't
He was
underly
chill,
friendly. He
yeah.
was chilling, he was
Yeah.
cool, he was relaxed. And I was like, that kind of low key, I move off of the energy around me in the room.
Yeah.
When it's hostile, I'm hostile. When it's that's how energy works though. Wherever you place yourself is how you're gonna be in that moment at that time.
Exactly.
And every time I came near you, it was like, it's gonna be okay. The night is gonna be all right.
You know
don't
what?
have to
I remember
panic.
seeing
that. I appreciate it. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
it was
the next morning, I said, look, man, I said, you didn't take a loss to me. You learned a lesson.
Yeah.
I said, to me, you did very well for what it was. I said, because first of all, the crowd you had to me was very respectful.
Oh yeah, that was.
From what I saw, that's rare.
very
And
rare.
everybody was respectful. They spoke, we talked.
Mhm.
In that respect, I said, yeah. From what I saw, you can always come back and we can always do business.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you stood on everything and you held your words.
Absolutely. I am
So that's
definitely
why I
that.
said, hey, make a few tune-ups and what and you good.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That night was definitely a tough one. It was a lot for me in the aftermath on the
But see,
business
but
side.
see, that's the
It was
thing, though.
different.
We didn't see that. We saw on the outside of the groups coming together, people see, only you know on the business end what it was.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And I make it my business to keep it that way because everything that happened ain't for all ears.
Yeah.
Because all ears that's listening ain't listening to keep their mouth closed. A lot of these ears is listening just to go back and run their mouth to the opposition or even to your friend. You never know what's going on. That's why you move in the space that you move that best fits you. I tell people all the time, you gotta do what best fits you. And at the end of the day, as long as you put yourself first,
Mm-hmm.
honor your integrity, and make sure you stay in that same space, 9 times out of 10, everything is going to work by divine right in the way that it's supposed to. So I tried to keep that night together, for lack of a better phrase. I tried to keep that night together, but I can honestly say every time I walk past you, I had that moment of like a woo-stop moment, like it's going to be all right. Yes, sir. You don't like this, you don't like this. I was just taking my mental notes like, okay, we're going to do this next time. We're going to do this next time. And I see this and I see this. And I am one of those people that when I'm late to something, I low-key have like a little panic attack. I be like, oh my God. Every time I get on 6:35, first of all, 6:35.
The truth.
Every time.
I touch that freeway 4 times a day.
Every time.
The truth. Every day.
Every time it gives me anxiety. I try to avoid 6:35 at all costs, but most of the business I do is right off of 6:35.
Mm-hmm.
And I be wanting to kick the shit out that freeway. Just
Yeah.
football kick it across the room. But that night at the Cypher, which was last Saturday, if y'all didn't get a chance to tune in, you can check it out on social media. It's definitely off there. You can go check out B6_ENT on Instagram. You'll see a whole bunch of footage there. It was definitely a dope night. It was high energy. When I tell you, you were probably my favorite. Because I could tell it was authentic.
Don't just say it.
Yeah, because I'm right here. No.
Hey,
But
Keep it straightforward.
But let me tell you how you know it was authentic. Because you hear it ain't nobody else.
Okay.
Hey, you know what?
Right.
That is true.
Yeah, that is. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I was standing outside with a whole bunch of y'all.
Yeah,
I walked past them. Hey, I need to get you on the radio Saturday.
you did.
It
you
was like
did.
3 or 4 of them outside, and I was like,
that.
bruh, come here. But it was authentic. The performance was real, and I could see your heart on the microphone.
I hate I missed it because I had to do interviews. Man.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I was talking my on
Yeah,
there.
yeah. It was definitely dope.
We have bars.
Yeah, I'm gonna
appreciate
reach
you,
out
bro.
to A-List
Appreciate
Photography. Shout out to A-List for pulling up and
Yeah,
recording
shout out
that
to
for me.
A-List.
I
That's the
gotta,
big homie
reach
right
out to
there.
him. Yeah, he's definitely a dope dude. I gotta
Yeah.
reach out to him. He said he was gonna shoot me that footage. He was doing some fine tuning to it. He was gonna shoot it to me, and definitely a dope dude. So for the audience that didn't get a chance to listen to the cipher and see the cipher, we're gonna come back in about 2 and 2. We're gonna play one of your joints real quick. Which one you want to listen want the people to listen to?
I want y'all to listen to this big grand trying, man. You know, females be trying people out here. So,
Definitely.
you know.
And if y'all not tuned in on any live or social media at the moment, go to www.dfwiradio.com. Listen to the track on there for your boy, Big Green. Let's do it.
Oh, that's whoa, that's the wrong one.
What song was it called?
Trying.
Pick it right up. We ain't missing no beats.
He got that good computer. Go ahead and tap it.
You know what a 5 minute. Yes, working the field. That first one now in your time. Mud. Yeah, she went to get down the throw baby. What's next? It's like a workout. This dead free rock works on my wrist line. Say you a gangster and you got to show me. Whoa, whoa. Check on it. I think trust them, they gave me a beat. Don't make money, I go off the deep end. I'll be on forever, my queen. Then I clear out the scene. MST deep and I speak on the team. Don't rate to the team. Nigga, a solid young nigga.
That be hard.
Pretty sad.
Oh, Grant, that beat hit hard. It put a little. I could see me like on the highway playing it. Like, yeah.
That's it, right?
You talking that real talk. Like, I could definitely feel that beat. You telling a lot of people business too, though.
Yeah, I am.
Why you throw them girls out there like that?
Because they be trying people out here.
Did that?
I can understand if you're a goofy out here, but you know, if you're a stand up guy, ain't no reason to be trying to stand up guys and they taking care of their business and standing on business out here.
Is that particular track inspired by a specific situation or?
Yes, it really was. Yeah, past situation. I was dealing with this female before my girl, and she was just trying me. Like, she wasn't trying me like for as like testing me or trying to handle me. It was the lying part.
I can't stand
It was the lying part. Like, I already know you out there doing what you doing. Like, just keep
making shit up.
Yeah, just keep it silent with me. Like, you ain't my girl. You ain't got to lie to me. Like, we just kicking it. We just vibing. Like, you ain't gotta do all that. Just keep it silent with me. That's why I say, you know, females be lying. They be trying.
So you know, some of that be y'all too, right?
Yeah.
Some of that be y'all.
I mean me like me on the end, like I ain't got time to be playing with nobody's feelings. Cause I know how females is. I know how some men get behind females, but me, I'm not about to play with your feelings. I'm gonna tell you what it is off the jump. Who you dealing with, how this gonna go, what you gonna get. I'm not one of them gonna try to just sweet talk you and swindle you. And nah, I'm not gonna do none of that. I'm gonna tell you what it is. Hey, this me. This what you gonna get. This how I'm coming. If you choose to mess with me, hey, that's on you.
Respect.
You know.
Respect. I'm gonna play devil's advocate for like a pair of seconds. So a lot of times when y'all come across certain females or women or whatever words you decide to use, you get the tail end of the baggage from the one before you.
That's always. They will never.
Like that, and that's what it be. Whether it's good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. Like
and the next so hard person. To say, no, I'm not doing that, but it really.
But you know what? It takes time and maturity for a woman to get to that point. You won't find too many women that are in that space that can say, you know what? I love myself enough to know that I'm not ready for that man. So let me not hurt that man. Let me go unload this baggage before I bring myself. But it took me it took me years to get to that point where I took time for myself. But I do understand on behalf of women that comes from previous trauma, and it comes from previous trauma on our end that we have yet to deal with. We have yet to acknowledge. For the ones that don't believe in therapy, that's where that stems from, that previous trauma that you went through that wasn't nobody's fault in the room. Nobody in here did that to you. Allow me the opportunity to prove it. But then we require you to prove that you deserve the opportunity to prove it, because we've been through so much, as y'all have as well. From the woman's perspective, it's deeper because we are emotionally based creatures. Men are typically logical. We move not all the time from emotional intelligence, and there are some men that move from that space.
99.9.45 all the time on emotion.
I didn't give no number. I just said this is how we move. But 9 times out of 10, it's because either we overestimate our level of emotional intelligence, or we don't even know what it is. There are a lot of people that hear that phrase and they throw it around and they really don't understand the definition. But you have to get to a certain place in life where you can comprehend emotional intelligence. It's literally self-defining. Emotional intelligence. It's a strange combination of logic and feeling. And there are some women like myself who get called detached that can move in that space, but when we feel slighted, that's when we pull back. That's when we get petty. That's when we move in the space. But it does require some balance. So sometimes it will take that masculine energy to come in and to guide. And it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. Like, this is one of my best friends, and he will periodically, like, there was one time I was in my head and I was dealing with some stuff, and he was like, stop trying to dim your light. If it wasn't for your light, all of these things wouldn't be happening. I often refer to myself as the middleman, or like I like to kind of stay in the background. And he'd be like, "Nah, you brighter than everybody in the room. Stop playing." So it does take that masculine energy to come in from time to time and give that. How do you plan on giving that to your children, allowing them to understand the light that they possess within?
Whatever they want to do, I'm gonna push them to the best ability. I'm gonna bring them up. But at the same time, like I said, I'm the type of person where I'm gonna give them the real, and I'm gonna give them the do's and the don'ts. Basically, I'm gonna give them the real. Hey, this was gonna happen if you want to do this. It could possibly happen. Even if you want to play sports, football, basketball. Hey, man, you going hard like this. You could tear your ACL, anything.
Anything's like
But I'm gonna give them the positive and the bad outcomes with anything they want to do. You know.
So I got a weird question. It might sound weird. Don't do that. What are the difference? And this is for both of y'all, right? What are the differences between raising a son and raising a daughter?
I'm gonna let you go first on that.
I grew up with none but my sisters and my mom, and I'm the middle child. So cleaning up and all this extra shit, like that's in me. So that's gonna be always. But for me, I got 5 girls, 4 boys, and I had 4 girls off top. My oldest was 16. So all I got is really karma gonna come back. So all I can do is teach them the best way to move around and be like, listen, I know I did a lot of things. Because obviously I got a lot of kids. So I know I did a lot of things and I played a lot of parts, you know what I'm saying? So karma might not came back, but it's gonna drop back and hit one of them. So I know my kids gonna get heartbroken and gonna be like, hey, why did this happen? And I can just really just explain to them the best way that it happened, because I know I probably took somebody through it or I went through it. So
but what are the differences between raising your daughters from your son?
It's easier with the girls, to tell you the truth. Because like I said, I grew up with my mom and my sister, so I see my mama do it. So it's just like, and I got like 12 aunties. So the number of girls in my family, really. As for my sons, it's just, I knew how I grew up and what I did. So I got to make sure they don't go that way like that.
So the girls are easier for you for previous experience.
Oh, yeah, because I see my mama raised my sisters. Yeah. Wasn't a lot of boys in our family like that, so it was either.
So you're trying to repopulate the boy side.
I'm almost caught up. Like, I'm almost caught up. I'm 5 and 4. You know what I'm saying? But
you're on your way.
It's a blessing, though.
It definitely is. Kids are blessings. They also.
My boys are more. They got that more energy and more up running and stuff. So he's just like, oh, we're gonna put you in football or sports or something like that. What my mama did, you know what I'm saying? ADHD, you don't want to mess it. It kept us in sports, kept us moving. So you know what I'm saying? That's exactly what they did to us back in the day. But for my girls, they more like, I just wanted to chill and read books and do art. So that's cool. So now my girls a little bit easier than my boys. I know I gotta tell them some things.
And what about you, Brent?
I ain't gonna lie. My son is way easier than my daughter.
Why is that?
My son is so laid back, so understanding. My daughter, she just, Lord, man.
It's you.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's all you.
You knew how you was when you was coming up. You knew exactly what you did.
And it's crazy just to watch her, because she just. I mean, I was a chill. I was like, it's crazy too, because my son don't have my bloodline, but he act just like me when I was little. He just want to be on a video game, chill, eat his little snacks or whatever. He just laid back. Yeah, he stay to himself. He can play by himself all day. He don't need nobody. That's how I was. But my daughter, totally opposite, man. I mean, she got certain things she do, but man, it's my son way easy. My daughter is a handful.
So what are the concerns between the boy and the girl? Like okay, so let me say this. I have one boy and one girl. I know there were things with my son that I was more concerned about than I was with my daughter. What are those differences? What are those concerns, girl versus boy?
with my son growing up, I just don't want him to get nothing pregnant. That's
Just
my
nothing pregnant.
yeah, that's my biggest fear with him. Getting something pregnant.
Yeah.
And when my daughter, my biggest fear with her is how to tell her when she get heartbroken
Facts.
by a boy.
Y'all don't do no Martin and Will and
No,
Bad
no,
Boy
I'm not
for
gonna
somebody
get
in the
that
house.
good.
Oh yeah, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that. I thought about it.
That's
Though.
embarrassing.
I thought about it.
know though, because I did that. You know what I'm saying? As when I started doing what I was doing, it was just like, yeah, female after female after female, and it's just having fun. So I know exactly what I did. Like I said, karma gonna come back. If it didn't come back, it's gonna come back to one of my kids, or they gonna get hurt in the process. So all I can do is be like, listen, the best outcome I can do is just your best outcome. Because I did the same thing, and I took somebody through it, so I can just give you my experience about it. You just gotta handle it from there. You know what I'm saying? Because either way it go, they gonna make that mistake.
Yeah, they definitely
They gonna make that mistake, and we gonna have to give it to them, and they gonna learn from it. But we can always give them a warning before it happens. But sometimes they still gotta go through it.
One thing I learned being, because like I had my son when I was 16, so I got thrown into parenthood very, very early, and I definitely wasn't ready. And I don't come from a family abort what. Who you talking about? We gonna figure this out. We're gonna keep it moving. So I had no choice. One thing I did learn during the experience of parenting as a whole, they're two totally different people. You cannot discipline them the same way. You cannot love them the same way. You will not love one more than the other. You'll just love them differently. They were my daughter, she's very feminine and she's very girly, but she also got her tomboy side. And I had to learn how to nurture both sides of her. My son is very flamboyant and he's very out there and he's very rah, rah, rah. And she's the more calmer one, but she has her moments. So one thing that I learned is like, you got this side of me, you got that side of me. I don't know where that other shit came from, but you definitely got that. And so navigating in that space of, okay, that's a Risha trait. You got that, but you got that one. Like my son is the rah rah side of me, but I was so much younger. My daughter is the older version of me, the more mature. She meditates, she has her crystals, she vibrates on different frequencies, and my son could give a fuck about any of that stuff. He's just running around here living his best life, whatever he thinks that is. What advice would you give to a new father that has had his first child and he's seeing so much in himself? What advice would you give him on nurturing that child to grow up to be a productive adult? He took a sip of water, y'all. Y'all can't see it, but he had to take a water on that one.
Oh, man, it's gonna be a long process. It's gonna be a long process, long journey. You gotta know when to be a father, a friend, a lover. You gotta learn all these things to be emotional. You know, you gotta learn all these things, so it's gonna be a process. You know, I'm still learning as I go. You know, with my daughter and my son, I gotta remember she a girl, but she acts so tomboy.
Yeah.
You know, so I gotta remember she a girl. I gotta be emotional. I can't treat her like my son. I can't yell at her like I yell at my son all the time, because sometimes she'll break down. So it's just certain things you gotta learn is being a father in the process, because it's not easy at all. It's not easy being a mother. It's not being a father is not easy at all. So you just gotta know what to do and not to do is your process. Especially if you ain't got nobody coaching you, you're gonna bump your heads a 1,000 times. Especially if you didn't have no father in your life.
No, for real, that's the
so
trying to raise.
You ain't have no father to teach you certain things, and you just had mama. And technically, a woman can't teach a man, a boy, how to be a man. Technically, you know what I'm saying? So what a boy gonna do? Gonna go to the streets. He gonna have idols he look up to, or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So It's
Coach is
all
gonna be the first father
yeah.
figure you look up to.
Coach. You're right about that.
Coach gonna be the first father figure you look up to.
You're right about that.
I had one coach through all my sports, and when I played and stayed in Abilene, so. But I had a big church family, so it was all good with me.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give to new fathers, Stacey?
Be accountable.
That's a hard one.
No, for real.
Most people don't understand the definition of that word, being accountable and accepting your fault in it. You can be like, okay, yeah, I did it. But it's another thing to say, okay, yeah, I did it. And you know what? It was fucked up. Let me go ahead and rectify whatever it is within me so that I don't have to accept accountability for this type of behavior again. That takes a lot, especially to teach that to your children. I got one more question for you before we take off. For your audience that's listening, for your audience that's watching, where can they find you at?
Oh, you can follow me on all platforms. Big Green. Type in Big Green on Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere. Amazon Music, everywhere. YouTube, Facebook, Super Green, IG, Big Green 214.
How long you been doing this?
Rapping or taking it serious? Which one?
Both.
Now I've been rapping since I was like 9 years old.
When you started taking it serious?
When I was like 20, 21.
Amen.
In the penitentiary.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
That's where a lot of great careers happen.
You remember your first song you wrote? When you started music at 9?
No.
You remember your first song you wrote when you took it serious?
Yes. Yeah.
That's on.
Please share the title, please.
Yeah.
If you remember.
What was the song when I took it serious? I want to say the name of it was 350.
Do you remember any of the words to it? Could you pull it off right now? Live for the people on air. What started your career?
I think the verse, if I can remember the verse, hold on.
It'd be like that though.
Like that. You know,
You'd be surprised how many artists.
I remember the verse though. I'm chilling fam like 350. Paint job is mayonnaise. Inside is mustard and I cut the black and these band-aids. I'm chilling. Yeah,
we got it. We got it though. But you'd be surprised how many artists forget or they know their first song that they put out.
That's how the little verse go though. Yeah. I think the hook was like 350. 350. Money heavy like 350. Chain big like 350. Pockets heavy like 350. Yeah. 350. Shoes cost like 350. Go around like 360. Subtract 10, that's 350. Yeah, like that. I wrote that like 2021.
What
No, real.
What was it that you think inspired that song specifically?
Everybody's saying I really could rap. And I need to make something that's catchy. They was like, bro, you got a lot of struggle songs and a lot of bars in your music. Make something that's catchy, bro. I think you would do it. That's why I came up with
That's a dangerous turn sometimes.
It definitely is.
When you make that one song, everybody expects you to keep making something like that.
After song, after song, after song.
Yeah.
So
and then when you're incarcerated, man, they gonna tell you if your stuff trash.
Off the rip,
bro, that is the rudest, cutthroatest crowd you can ever perform in front of.
Definitely that. Well, Big Grant, thank you so much for pulling up. I appreciate you attending. Before we get out of here, we got your social media. We're gonna play this last song.
Oh, let me give a shout out to let me give a shout out to my whole family. Man, PJ Ricochet, man, clean as a whistle. Y'all should remember clean as a whistle, man. That's my boy. He put a lot of stuff in motion for me. I appreciate him for everything. Just my big brother, my moms and everybody, man. My girl, everybody just keep pushing me. I appreciate y'all.
Definitely. Shout out to the support system. Until next time, 2 and 2. Brown Coffee Talk. Peace.